You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live This Week, featuring news and commentary on This Week in Black Hollywood. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live This Week, Derrial Christon.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're watching Black Hollywood Live This Week. I'm your host, Derrial Christon, and here joining me in the lovely, is that purple?
It's like fuchsia.
It's Courtney Stewart in fuchsia.
What's up, everybody?
And our dancing machine over there is our special guest host today, Nick Perdue, who is taking the place of DJ Jesse J, who cannot join us today.
That's the ugly, nasty dance.
That
right
was
there.
a really disgusting dance, my man. You gotta do a little bit better for that for the fans. I mean, come on, man. I know you can dance a little bit better.
That's all I got. This is
move.
black man can't dance.
Black man can't dance move. All right. Well, he does not represent all of us for Black Hollywood Live.
Derrial can get down,
I can get down. I can get dirty. Don't make me take off this jacket. But all right. On today's show, we have a variety of different topics, including Lupita Nyong'o officially joins the cast of Star Wars, which I'm excited about. Justin Bieber is in trouble for dropping the N-word.
Oh, Lord, here we go again.
Comedian Mike Epps attacks a comic over jokes.
Crazy.
And the last story, or the last one I'm talking about right now, is Google expands its diversity efforts.
Congratulations,
and,
Google.
yes.
You're not racist.
But first, we normally would be reading the buzzer meter results, which was the question last week. Did you find Mark Cuban's comments offensive? But unfortunately, because of technical difficulties, we don't have the results, but we'll read them next week once everything kind of gets brewing back with our site. But we do have a new buzzer meter question for today, which is, should Obama have traded 5 Taliban terrorists for the POW? So you guys let us know what you think. We're going to talk about that story a little bit later.
Yes.
And we want to hear what you think, and we'll read those results as well. All right, so first up we have, which I'm a little nervous about, we have Nick Perdue delivering the trending topics.
Guys,
no, I'm not nervous. Go ahead, Nick.
I'm nervous now because you guys are nervous. But no, I mean, the first story we're going to talk about is Lupita Nyong'o, and she joins the cast of Star Wars. This is Star Wars Episode 7. Which is interesting, you know. I mean, not really being a big Star Wars fan myself.
What?
Shame on
How can you not be a Star Wars fan? Have you not seen Return of the Jedi?
He said they're
That's
too
the
long.
first one I saw. And
You said they're too long. They're like 2 hours.
But there's a
regular
lot
movie
of
time.
them.
It's just a
So
lot.
if you weren't like following it from childhood, it is kind of like rough to catch up.
You don't have to watch them all at once.
But yeah, you want to like, it's a lot. That's like me and Lord of the Rings and all
Right.
the
Not Lord of the
Power
Rings.
movers.
That's like a
we
4 hour
live
movie.
in a binge watching society right
Yeah.
now.
Right.
So like I would literally be up for like 8 days trying to
And you know
get all
he
this
ain't
stuff
got that
together.
attention span. It would be
yeah.
too much.
I don't.
Yeah.
But Lupita tweeted out, she said, I can finally say it out loud and proud. I'm going to a galaxy far, far away. So I'm excited for her. You know, she's joining John Boyega, Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, Oscar Isaac, and Andy Serkis, as well as other cast members in the movie. So
Yeah, and they're being really secretive about what she's
Yes.
playing, though. I noticed
Right.
that. Like they won't. They just keep saying that she has a really big female role. That's
Which
all
is
they're telling us.
cool. I'm glad. That's a good move, I think, after what she's done so far. And like, this is a great step, girl. Getting that franchise where the money is.
I'm happy for her.
I'm excited.
Well deserved.
Yes.
yeah, or stars. See, she's putting that Oscar to work.
She is putting that out to the work.
Now
what
it's
it
time to
is.
collect the checks.
That's
you go
right.
to a big franchise like Star Wars. It's
That
gonna
is
be
very
great.
true.
But do you guys think it's going to be the same now since Disney owns it?
Well, J.J. Abrams is involved,
Still
right?
involved, I believe.
I think with JJ's power of what he delivers, I think that he'll get us back to where we need to be with that franchise.
And
That's what
it's
I
a
think.
very, you know, they're not going to try to disappoint on purpose.
Right, I agree.
Because they're
There's
following
too much
this.
hype, too,
And
around
there's
it,
too much,
yeah.
they're going to do what they're going to
Good.
do.
It could be a big letdown.
Shut up, Nick.
I have
you being
to play
pessimistic,
No,
Nick,
I have
today?
to play the other side. You know, like it could be a big letdown. Who knows? But we'll see. I'm
Let's hope
excited
not,
for her.
because you know they're
I'm
going to
excited
blame
for-
Lupita.
Right, exactly. Right.
Never should have put you
See,
in that
never
movie.
should have had that girl.
Right. They blamed Hollywood Catwoman, and now they'll blame Lupita.
Well, they definitely should have blamed Halle for Catwoman. Moving on.
Actually, you're right.
That's terrible.
I concur.
Disaster.
Okay.
Well, this hip hop preacher, Jamal
I'm done.
Pastor Jamal
So
Abraham,
done with this.
he had a sermon. And he, really just spewed out this line, these hoes ain't loyal.
He for real.
And like, I mean, here's the thing though, but he was really preaching. Like I watched the clip and he was, cause he's really one of those like down home pastors, his He's at the Empowerment Temple in Baltimore, Maryland. So, you know, East Coast loving. But the congregation was so receptive with this sermon that, you know, I think it's a nice way to kind of bridge the gap. Bring people to church.
By saying these hoes ain't loyal?
I mean, listen, however you got to relate, you know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do. Now, granted, he wasn't a youth pastor.
No.
But Baltimore, Maryland, you know,
Done.
It's entertaining. If I was at church and heard him say it, I don't know how I would really feel, to be honest with you.
He got a standing ovation.
I know he did, but I mean, if I'm going to like hear the message, if I hear the whole,
I don't want my preacher talking about hoes. Like,
I kind of don't want my preacher. I gotta agree with Courtney.
You could have been like, these people ain't loyal, or I don't know, something
But it doesn't hit the same.
No, but like we would have known that he was referencing these hoes ain't loyal without being like these hoes. Like the preacher cannot be calling people hoes.
Yeah, it's just something weird about it. It's weird. It's kind of weird.
Because like, you know, because the sermon, you know, he talked about different kind of homophobic things, this and that, and so, you know, but he was really kind of, because he even said, you know, it was like, ladies, you know, find your other sisters in the row and look to the left and look to the right. Fellas, find your other brothers in the row and look them in the face and say, these hoes ain't loyal. And it was
not
you know,
okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Entertaining, yes. Okay, when I'm trying to hear the message, not so much.
I don't want to be talking about Jesus and the hoes ain't loyal. No.
I appreciate him trying to relate.
No,
but
I don't appreciate him trying to relate. I disapprove. You ain't supposed to be trying to relate. You're supposed to be preaching the word of the Lord.
Was it a religious fail?
A religious fail.
A religious fail.
Jesus was like, oh, no, you didn't.
But okay, but now because it went viral, you think that maybe he'll get more people to come to church and to the congregation? And
if the hoes ain't loyal, they ain't coming to church.
Maybe they need to change their ways, though.
That
you
is
know?
true.
Because the preacher said hoes ain't loyal?
I mean, they may go from the club, you know, to VIP booth to the second pew. And
see, that's the problem. That's a different issue right there. That's the problem. Right. This is opening up a big problem. That's all I got to say.
What? I mean, listen. The way I say it, if it gets the word across, you know, more power to him.
However you find your way, find your way. But I don't know. It's a little weird to me.
Pass the price.
The man of the
Christian
cloth.
Center, please do not start referring to people as hoes or about their loyalty. And I appreciate that.
Listen, Pastor Jamal H. Bryant, I'm with you. I'll rock with you. They ain't rocking with you.
We know who'll be in the front row.
I'll rock with you. That's right.
Throwing his hand up. You right?
Right.
And so, moving on to everyone's favorite little. I almost want to call him a pre-Klansman, but he's not. But here's the thing.
Wow.
Because I mean, let's be honest. This was definitely racist.
Well, let's tell the story first.
Justin Bieber.
Let people know.
Okay, because this isn't the first time. Right, so you know, I want to say earlier this week, or it could have been last week, but you know, the first video came out on TMZ. They broke it to where he was telling this racist joke, you know, and he says the N-word, and you know, he gets laughed with his other white friends, or whatever, in the little trailer, and then, but he was 15, and then so
and he's 20 now. He's 20 now.
But then this video also surfaced where he was 14, and he was singing one of his songs, "One Less Lonely Girl." But he took out the word girl and replaced it with the N-word. And he was really harmonizing this thing. Like, he was really, like, if you watch the video, like, this boy is, you know, it's ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous. Now, you know, Usher and Will Smith, you know, they say that they saw the video before it really kind of, you know, went out. And, you know, they feel that Justin isn't racist, that he's not, you know, doesn't like black people. But I don't know. Yeah, jury's still out.
Okay, so I saw the video, and I don't condone what he's doing, but he has issued an apology, and he said that when he was, you know, he made this video, he was 15, he made a mistake, I don't know who influenced him with these videos, but he has gone on to apologize and said, you know, I was a dumb kid, basically, and I should have never said this.
Right.
Am I gonna like call him a Klansman, as you call him, a future Klansman, a pre-Klansman? I don't think I'm gonna go that far. I don't condone any usage of the N-word, but we've had this subject many times on this show. Yes. I don't condone it for a black person to use it, white person, whatever, yellow, whatever you may be. But he was young. He's a kid. We all say stupid stuff when we're kids. I do believe that most people who are in his clan, who are African American, they all have come to his. I used the word clan. Where the hell did that come from?
See?
Where the hell did that come from? I did not mean the word clan. Oh, it's subliminal.
Yeah, you did.
Racist.
Yeah,
Racist.
These hoes ain't loyal, Derrial.
These hoes ain't loyal. No, I think that, you know, a lot of the African Americans who he works with, like you said, Usher, have come to his defense. I mean, there's a couple quotes like Floyd Mayweather said, "We all make mistakes when we're young and growing up." Soulja Boy said, "Justin's still my boy."
That's the worst guy to come to your defense.
Soulja Boy or Floyd Mayweather?
Soulja Boy is the. It was
He
Floyd,
said,
like, Soulja Boy is the worst.
this is what he said: "Justin is still my boy, and people should not call Justin a racist because he's not."
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg said the N-word doesn't mean anything in Canada. Which I love Whoopi. I thought that was hilarious. And you know, Usher has made no comment pretty much, but he also helped groom Justin's career.
Well,
so he's
not a racist.
I don't think he's a racist. I think he said something stupid.
He
was an idiot. He was probably hanging out with some dumb kids, and he made a stupid mistake.
He probably felt like he was cool enough to be with the black kids saying the N-word, like so many of them do, and don't recognize it as
They're talking about, is this the end of his career? I don't know if it should be that dramatic.
Unless it's like black men
that's dramatic.
that are following him. Like the little girls ain't gonna be like, "Oh no, you used the N-word." They'll be like, "Oh my God, that's so cool."
If he owned a basketball team, would they make him sell it?
That's not the issue.
That's
another whole conversation.
They would definitely make him sell, and then he would have to go
not
buy
a
Turkish basketball team.
Yeah, I don't think not for just saying the N-word. I mean, Donald Sterling is a different beast.
I mean, but he didn't just say it once. Like, he said it a couple times. And in fact, you know, like I feel that if you say it once, okay. If you say it twice, this is in your vocabulary.
Well,
like, this is what you say.
I'm sure it's in his vocabulary. Sure. I bet he throws it around with his boys. Like,
I'm sure him and Big Soldier. I'm sure chilling.
Soulja Boy calls him in all the time.
Say Big Soldier.
I'm being funny.
I'm mad at you.
I'm being funny. Clearly being funny. Clearly.
I want to play the clip for you guys to hear, so you can hear the actual whole thing.
Okay.
What the song?
We have to hear it again. You just.
One less lonely nigga.
He sounds like an 8-year-old.
One less lonely nigga. There's gonna be one less nigga. If I kill you, I'll be part of the KKK. Then there'll be one less lonely nigga.
Who is that? Is that his mom in the background?
I don't know. But he literally sounds like a 7 or 8-year-old.
Yeah, he sounds mad young.
But no, because there was in the other video, there was another female in the background.
I saw her, but I'm not sure she was.
As well. So, because I feel that maybe, because again, we know that racism isn't like, like you're not just born racist. Like it's something that's taught. You know what I mean? So that's a little questionable.
Is racist, you're saying?
Huh?
You're saying mom's racist?
I mean, maybe she.
But you don't know that that's mom in the video. So
again, I don't know that that's mom in the video.
Assumptions.
That's true. Again,
We deliver the news. We don't make up the news.
What
you're
we
right.
know is that it's Justin Bieber, and it is a mess. And in the real state of things, who gives a fuck?
Right.
But is his career over? No, I don't know.
No, his career is not over.
I just say, listen, the kid was young, and now if he says it right now, that's a different beast. But he said he was 15. I'm not gonna put out the NAACP on Justin Bieber right now.
At his concert or something behind the scenes, talking to his boys, using it regularly.
Once again, I don't think the word should be used at all. If he's talking to Soulja Boy or Usher or whoever else and he's using it, it shouldn't be used. They should not be accepting of the word. But
what if he puts out a rap song and then he says in the rap song?
Then he will get beat up.
What if he? Would he though? Would he get beat up?
I am through.
Or would he have his bodyguards beat him up and then allegedly? Anyway, sorry, my bad. I'm going to tangents.
That's another.
Put a shirt on, Justin.
Yeah.
Stop saying that word.
It's so cute.
And don't you have something to say about AfterBuzz TV as well?
That's right. So after you put a shirt on, you can make sure to tune in to AfterBuzz TV because we do recaps on all of your favorite primetime shows, all your favorite hit shows all throughout the week. So make sure you guys tune in, rate, comment, and subscribe. And if we don't do your current favorite show, then let us know so we can start doing your current favorite show. A couple of shows that we do here do VH1 Hit the Floor.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what shows you guys.
I do Walking Dead. I do Walking Dead. AMC's Walking Dead.
Real Housewives of Atlanta, all up in here.
But we have every show pretty much that you want to see and listen to. We got it.
Under the Dome's coming.
So check it out.
Orange is the New Black this weekend. Check it out. Yep.
Chasing Maria Menounos.
Yep, that was on there too.
Yep.
All kinds of shows.
All right. Thank you, Nick. All right. Jeez.
Like,
Boy.
thanks, Nick. Jeez.
Thanks, Nick. All right.
Great, you're
Where's
awesome.
Jesse? No, just
Moving
kidding.
on.
All right, moving on to Gossip and Rumors, which Nick was trying to start a couple about Justin Bieber's mother, but we will let Courtney
Messed
deliver
up. How you
real
gonna talk about
Gossip and
somebody mama?
Rumors. Okay.
All right, Gossip and Rumors this week. The fun begins. Okay, so those of you, as I said, I do Real Housewives of Atlanta for AfterBuzz, and Real Housewives of Atlanta this year was absolutely insane. People were dragging chicks to the floor, beating each other up, husbands looking at other women's breasts, and all kinds of crazy stuff. So much so that the ratings went from a 3.1 to a 3.8. It was the best season of Real Housewives of Atlanta ever. But we were all stressed out and worried, like, oh snap, Portia Williams not going to come back because she dragged Kenya Moore to the floor during the reunion, and violence is supposed to be not acceptable on the show. Word on the skirt, though, is that all 6 women are returning for season 7, including Knockdown, Dragdown, Portia Williams. And Kenya Moore will be right next to her. But word on the street also is that they are all holding out right now because they all want bigger paychecks because the season did so well. They all think that they deserve more money. Nene Leakes told Life and Style magazine that Bravo has invited all 6 women back. She's not certain if she's going to return yet, but she also said that she definitely wants more money, noting that they all deserve more money because the season did so well.
I love Nene. But let's keep this real. Nene will be returning
Of course
unless
she will.
Nene gets another television
Boo ain't got
show.
no job right now.
Because, from what I understand, she does not have another job right now,
Nope.
and she is the highest paid housewife, correct?
Yes, she was
How much
the
does she
first
make?
housewife to reach the $1 million mark.
Per episode? Or like total, like the salary?
I think salary.
I think it's salary.
I think it's salary.
If she's making $1 million per episode, then I'm in the wrong business.
That would be Friends money.
actually might be.
But that would be Friends money if
Right.
she was making $1 million
couldn't
per
be.
episode. It couldn't be
Because that was
Friends
never
money. They're like that's like
clarified.
history made right there. You know.
Yeah, I think
I
I
think
went
she's
with her
probably
about that.
overall. If I had to
Yeah.
guess, you know.
Because they can't possibly make them more money. And for those of you guys that missed Sheree, I'm not one of them, but supposedly she may be returning for some appearances, but not as a full-time housewife.
Well, because
She
there
needs
was
money,
there
too.
was a little rumor that Kenya was going to be leaving because she had given them an ultimatum
but
that
ain't
either
going
Portia or her
She ain't
they had
going
to
nowhere.
decide. Bravo had to decide. And
She ain't
the
going
producers
nowhere.
were saying
Kenya
that.
ain't got no job.
Yeah,
Her
it's true,
production company
yeah.
ain't got no movies. Kenya Moore gonna be right back on season 7. Let's,
All right, well,
let's
then,
keep
boop.
it honest.
Boop.
Let's be honest. So check it out, guys. They're supposed to start shooting in July, so we should know for sure who really is gonna be on camera by July, because they're all negotiating right now. Go Portia though, because Portia done made this capital. She got a regular job on DishNet. Dang it, what is it called?
Yes.
Dish Nation.
Dish Nation. Yes.
Next to Ricky Smiley, y'all, all summer. Y'all can hear Portia Williams
Yeah, she came from like
Let
the
you
end of the
know.
line and ran to the front of the line all of a sudden.
letting you know I'm
she
real
was,
mad at that.
Isn't she dating like some African dude or
Who
something?
cares?
Aren't they all dating
Well,
African
Kenya's
dudes?
dating an African prince.
Kenya's in that, okay.
And supposedly Portia at some point was dating an African prince that was actually Tamala Jones's prince.
Right.
And they got in a fight over Twitter about
Yeah.
it. Because we all grown.
That's all. I just blogged. That's how I
You
follow
just
it.
block it out?
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you do?
Well, either way, I'm excited to see Cynthia's wigs and makeup for season 7. So I'm happy. Moving on to
Oh,
more
boy.
craziness and gossip and rumors. And this ain't really gossip or rumors. It's straight up word on the street. Mike Epps, they looking for you, boo. So according to the rap,
photo
Mike
you got there.
Epps, oh God. Okay, so y'all, we were talking about him, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Because he got into a Twitter battle that he lost to Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Because he lost, he got
he lost,
dragged
yeah.
by Kevin Hart over Twitter.
Yeah.
But apparently there's a young comedian in Atlanta by the name of LeVar Walker who did a parody joke video of Mike Epps and the Kevin Hart Twitter battle. Well, Mike Epps did not appreciate it one little single tiny bit. And he decided to find his brother at the Uptown Comedy Corner in Atlanta. He told somebody up in there to let LeVar know he was waiting outside. So LeVar does his set. Like, what? Mike Epps want to talk to me? Okay, great. Comes out the building. There's a couple African Americans on the street. And apparently there was a couple next to Mike Epps, and he walks over like, Mike Epps, what's up? Bam, he gets knocked out, knocked on the floor. They threw his phone up on a building and smashed it and laughed at him and said, oh, you want to call the police right now? And they beat him up.
Dang. It's real in these comedy streets out here.
It's real.
It's
These
real.
comedy
Nick,
streets,
Nick,
guys.
watch your jokes, Nick. Watch your
Be
jokes,
careful
Nick. Be
because
careful,
they
Nick.
will come for you. There was another young comedian on the other side of the sidewalk that is saying, his name is Bo Micadelic. but he was on the other side of the sidewalk, and he said he watched this all go down, and that really Mike Epps didn't really get no blows in. He was just standing there sort of like the Godfather overseeing everything that happened. And what really happened was the big bodyguard punched him, he fell down, then the bodyguard started kicking him, and Mike Epps just grabbed the phone and threw the phone and was yelling, using the N-word, I'm sure, "Don't you be making no more videos about me."
Well, I think that probably makes sense. Mike is probably smart enough to
Not
let
actually
his crew do the dirty work,
Right.
because he doesn't want that responsibility of being sued. So he could always use the case like, it wasn't me. It was, hey, it's my bodyguards.
He could
It's what I
say
pay
it
him
wasn't
for.
him, but he
Right.
stood there and watched it. So I feel like you still gonna get sued, and you deserve to be sued hardcore.
Well,
If he took the phone, threw it up on the wherever, and
He
smashed
the
it,
phone.
and
Right.
This is
Yeah,
very
I mean,
dramatic.
yeah.
I want to like this.
He's still gonna get sued.
But Mike does parodies himself, so it's because it's always like like this is your comedian, like you're open target. You know what I mean? Especially like we're gonna make videos, we're gonna tell jokes. If you can't take it, then just be an actor. You know
Why
what I'm
do you
saying?
think he got so sensitive all of a sudden? Like he is just running off at the mouth about everything.
maybe it's because Kevin crushed him so much
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the
I mean, he got
he got yeah.
Kevin dragged.
I don't
It wasn't
I don't
even a
think it was that
competition.
bad. But
The Twitter
Did you see all the
Did you
Twitters?
read?
Did you read the Twitters?
I did, but I didn't think it was that. I mean, again, we know movie titles, whatever, selling out, Like, granted, Kevin Hart did the actual arena for Madison Square Garden,
I'm
and
mad
then
I deleted those
Mike
tweets.
Epps
All
did
my things.
did
I need to
the
read those
theater.
like right now. Y'all need to look up Kevin Hart's tweets because
Google.
what Nick is talking about is not.
No, I mean,
Kevin Hart dragged like this was Mike Epps' wig that he don't even have. And he
Yeah,
just
I'm
dragged him
agreeing with
around,
Courtney.
spun him
I
up
thought the
here,
tweets
and
were
went,
crazy.
boom,
Yeah,
and threw him
he got
across the
crushed.
room. He got smashed.
He got smashed.
But like Mike Epps has been known to throw some blows on Twitter, so he's lost his run. He took the L, but Mike is a beast on Twitter though. He is. Like, if you follow, he's a beast.
Well, speaking of being a beast, he took to Twitter to basically say nothing important about this, but he responded to these accusations, basically saying the following: "I want to apologize to all of my fans for the false that's put on me right now." That's not proper English,
I don't think it is.
Then he says, "Bandits never attack a empty boat." That should be an empty boat. "I am blessed. Can't believe everything you read, folks." So I guess essentially he's saying it did really go down, but home dude got a neck brace and some cut up face, so something went down.
Yeah.
So whether or not you were there.
Well, yeah.
So that's what word on that street is. Moving on to more pleasant gossip and potential rumors. So those of you that were super depressed last week when we found out that Arsenio Hall got canceled, even though the network had said back in February that he was going to get a second season, we were all really sad, sort of, not really, because the show wasn't that great. But
I disagree, but I'll wait till you finish.
Right.
I'll wait till you finish.
it is reported to The Wrap right now. Hall's manager, John Ferreter, told The Wrap that it is true that right now there are some other networks that are interested in bringing the show back, so they're shopping. So perhaps he will pop up on another network this fall.
Well, I hope he pops up because I thought his show was great.
I hope he pops up.
Arsenio, to me, he took his same formula that he did in the 90s, and he just, brought it back. But that's the Arsenio that we loved.
Yes,
So-
except it's now 2014, and that was 1992, and he didn't do quite enough to
But what would you
Turn it
say?
up.
What would you
did you
like
wanna
him to
see?
do? What do you want to see?
I just want to see a little bit of a turn up of something. I don't know. It was just, I was obsessed with Arsenio in the 90s. Like, I thought it was the best thing ever, but it just felt stale. Like, the set felt stale. Like, it just didn't, there was no new energy about it. And it wasn't necessarily just about him, but like something as simple as the set. Like, I look at the show and I'm like, oh,
Can I say something? So Arsenio,
yes.
right, took his hiatus,
Yes, he did.
came back.
A long time.
Long
To
time.
take care of his kid. I
So
thought that was
one,
beautiful.
that's already a feat in itself.
That is
right?
true.
But then you have, I'm not gonna call him a hack, but you have these guys like Jimmy Fallon, right? People like him.
Who
but
is killing it.
He does this extra stuff just to keep people engaged, and NBC has this monopoly on guests,
Yeah.
really. So, but again, that's his lane. I
Right.
get that. Conan, I enjoy Conan, so I can't really say anything bad about Conan. Letterman, Letterman's a staple, but he'll be gone next year. And then you have like Craig Ferguson. There's really no
He's
point
not my
for Craig
type of
Ferguson
humor.
to even be on TV right now.
Yeah.
But then you got like Jimmy Kimmel, who I think is probably as true to late night as like Jay Leno was, because there isn't any extra fluff. Because Fallon has this extra fluff, and it's like it's unnecessary. Like Seth Meyers tried to come in and do, his thing, but Seth Meyers should Arsenio should replace Seth. Let me just say it.
I agree with that.
I can see that.
And because
and I think Seth is really talented, but I agree.
But he's not a late night host. Like let's keep it real. Like he was great on Weekend Update. He was a brilliant writer, but he's not a late night host.
I agree with
That's
that.
just not his lane. So for the whole fact, hopefully they can do something like because I don't want to see him do like what TBS did to George Lopez. I feel that like any type of urban late night people we have, they give them like a little testing season, and then they kick them off the air.
Let him go to BET.
Well, I don't
want
like
to
that.
get
I
lost
want
in
him
BET.
to be on a network. Like
That's where he needs to
There
be.
needs to be some color of some sort in late night on network television. I just feel like they didn't give him. Well, they said that when they announced that the show was going to get a second season back in February, some of the stations or something moved him to a different time slot that caused his rating to drop like 0.1 or 0.9 or something. So that was sort of the grounds to let it go, because it wasn't pulling the ratings that they wanted or expected. And I just think if that to me that seems like a institutional attack, so to speak, like to set him up to not succeed.
For failure, right?
So, and there's lots of blogs and debates back and forth, and a lot of people were saying that with CBS, like he was actually reaching the demographic that he was supposed to be reaching.
Yeah.
And
it's a decent time slot because it was 11.
But they're saying that the reality is the network doesn't really care about that demographic or growing that demographic for their network. Y'all can read into that what you like, but that's the real reason why the show is not coming back, which sucks.
I mean, if UPN was still around, he would definitely be on UPN.
Sure.
Well,
absolutely.
That's helpful.
I agree, but that's not around. So.
But again, because what Arsenio needs an established audience, and he needs like that brand. So he needs to go into like the late show, like with Seth, or like Takeover, Craig Ferguson's spot or whatever, that already kind of has that built-in audience, so he can keep, because I believe that he'll be able to grow a show.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with Courtney. I think that he could have done some things to kind of turn it up a little bit.
He needed something, because he got us back.
Yeah, he got us back.
Which is fine. We were the demographic initially. So we came with, as previous fans of Arsenio, but he didn't reach enough new fans to make it really happen. And he's going to have to do something to reach those new people. Like staying authentic to what Arsenio was is irrelevant in 2014.
Well, I'm down with you, Arsenio. So I'm hoping that whatever you land on next with your night show, that it's a success. So,
just don't go to BET.
Or don't go to BET.
Or TV One.
Or Centric. Yeah, you kind of get lost in Centric. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
I mean, great networks though.
Unbelievable
Great
networks.
network.
No, yeah, unbelievable networks.
Don't.
We don't need them on cable. We need them network.
We need them on network.
We need them free.
Right. Free. All right. Is that all you got for us today there, Courtney? Because you were starting to sing, and I was like, this is going somewhere else. That's all we got. Okay. Well, before we move on to our final hot topics, I want to remind everyone to go to iTunes, look up Black Hollywood Live, and give us a rating and comment. We have been getting some great information from people who are letting us know what they do like and do not like about the shows. We have about 22 shows right now. We have Stand Up, Sit Down, which Nick is the host for. We have Fashion 411 with Courtney and a couple other hosts. We have The Beat with Jesse. Stand Up, that's it. Stand Up, Sit Down. Next. Portraits. Let's talk about sex. Geek Nerd Tech. I mean, we have every type of show. Urban Wellness and Fitness.
We have 8,000 shows.
We have 8,000 shows. Anything you want
to
to have a niche for, we have. So check us out and give us a rating and comment, and we do appreciate it, and it helps us to give you better and exciting programming. Yep. All right, now we are going to move to our EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
You like those graphics, don't you?
That's interesting.
I like that. Good job, Stephen. I like that.
You threw that in right on time, boo.
All right, our EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week is about the Google search. leader, Google. Recently, they revealed that they wanted to increase their workplace diversity. This is a couple of things that have been recently revealed in the study, is that 2% of the Googlers are actually African American, 3% are Hispanic, and 30% are women. Google Inc. Senior Vice President Laszlo Bach wrote in a blog, simply put, Google is not where we want to be when it comes to diversity. There were numbers that were compiled as part of a report that the major U.S. employers must file with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and the gender divide is based on roughly 44,000 people that Google has employed throughout the world from the start of the year. So there is just a difference in what they're saying is the number of diversity employed, a number of diversity employees that are at the company that they're getting into a little bit of trouble with, because obviously they promote diversity and they are doing a lot of things to really kind of help out the community. Right. So people are saying, why is that reflecting back into
their hiring practices?
Now, this has been something that's been going around a little bit more. Civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson recently targeted companies like Hewlett Packard and said blacks are inappropriately represented in tech companies.
That is true.
He said African Americans are not represented in tech boards and not represented for senior executive positions, which there's a lot of truth to that, I think. What are your thoughts, Courtney? You seem like you want to say something.
No, that's the truth across the board. I mean, not tech companies aren't special, but it is, the tech industry is known to be a white male industry. 30% women, like, that's crazy. That doesn't even kind of make sense, but it's not atypical for what the industry is. I think it's nice that at least, like they said, I think they aren't required to put those numbers out publicly. They only are required to report it to the EDD. So it's kind of cool. I would like to believe that there's no weird alternative motive that I don't know about, that as for why they would put that out there. So it's kind of cool to like self-check themselves and be like, yeah, it's definitely not. Because 2% Hispanic and 2% Black is depressing.
Yeah. Especially for that leader of a search engine. You know,
yes, you're at the top of your game, and that's as good as it gets.
What you got to say, Nick?
But I mean, let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
How many young urban youths are going to school and like getting tech degrees and like are going into that field? So the pool isn't as
small.
Big.
That is true.
That's very true. I'll give you
know
that.
What I mean? And then too, I mean, like, how many applications does Google get per year? Let's just say
millions.
I'm sure.
And then so out of those applications, again, like how many of those are actually qualified individuals?
I have an Asian girlfriend that was trying to get on there.
See, you know what I'm saying? So, and then to also, what I want to know, because they're technically Google employees, so how many of those are actually in like tech positions? You know, because they have a real big campus.
Well, that's the point.
And the campus.
Yeah, I think that's the point. They're trying to diversify those sections.
That's why the excuse that, yes, the pool is probably quite a bit smaller for actual tech positions. So there's maybe argument to be made that like the higher up tech things, they don't really have the talent to pull from as much. But the range of jobs in any corporation, I mean, you got HR, you got admin, like you have lots of positions that you could use to diversify yourself.
But then how is that going to look though? You have a whole bunch of minorities.
Well, I'm not saying only hire the Mexicans
for
the mail room,
I'm
only
just
hire
saying,
the blacks.
you know,
I mean, it doesn't look like if you have an ability to move forward, if it turns out that I'm hired as an admin person and I'm working on my education in this area, but suddenly they're not working or they're not allowing people to be able to grow at the company if they are black people or whatever, and there's like obvious situations where they aren't being promoted and that kind of thing. That's another argument to be made.
Okay.
But I mean, they also have the ability to like do programs, and I know that there's certain movements. I think there's a company called Girls Who Code or Girls Code that's based in San Francisco that's trying to build up the like urban youth, as you said. Like there's girls that don't ever have access to learning how to code and to move into those positions ever. So they're trying to, and they don't get it as early as the white males. So they're trying to meet those girls in middle school so that throughout middle school and high school, they're getting that education so that they know it's an option when they go to college. Because a lot of times you can't just roll up in college like, okay, I've barely been prepped for college to begin with, and now I'm going to go into a tech degree.
Well, that's what I was going to say too. I think it's just a bigger problem overall. It's something that needs to stem down to schools and programs and just letting people know that these type of options are available for African Americans, for minorities, whatever it may be. But it needs to trickle down to the school systems to have that develop. So that way, as they're growing up and getting their degrees, they know that there's options like this out there for them to be a part of. You know?
And Google pays well.
They
Google
do.
pays well.
It's a great company to work for.
Great company to work for.
So maybe all that core curriculum that they've instituted in all our public schools is going to help.
Yes, maybe.
That was being facetious.
I know you were.
We'll
All right.
see how that works.
All right, moving on. Another subject that's been hitting the news this week is Obama. I feel like he just can't win. He is in trouble again.
I feel like you say that every week.
I feel like
yeah,
there's
2 more years.
Obama cannot win.
He's just trying to get through it.
Right.
Yes, he's just trying to reach the end of the train. Right. All right. Well, Obama has made some news this week because of the release of 5 Taliban fighters that were in exchange for a freed American soldier by the name of Bo Bergdahl.
Yes.
Now, this has caused a little bit of controversy is because they're saying that Obama may not have gone through the proper regulations to
Yes.
release
He
these.
did not. I think he pretty much admitted that.
She was just like, I don't even need you to read the rest of the story. He didn't do it.
That's what they said. I'm just.
I mean,
go
okay,
on.
so they're saying that he didn't go through the regular procedures to get things released, that he didn't let Congress know a 30-day notice about the soldiers being moved and detained from Guantanamo Bay, Guantanamo, tongue twister today, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Also, some are questioning if the 5 Taliban fighters released in exchange will one day re-emerge and retaliate for being in captivity. Yeah, and to add to that controversy, one question that's being asked is about Bergdahl, and they were saying that there are rumors that he was not this great citizen of a soldier that he is making himself out to be. Some say that there was a lot of back and forth about how he was captured, if he was a loyal soldier. According to veterans, they said that he possibly may have. How should I put this? He may have.
He just said, "Hell no, I'm gone."
Yeah, he may have
Just
left his
walked
crew. He may have left his soldier crew, and now there's back and forth about what's really the truth because the Taliban are saying one thing about how they captured him, and he's saying another. So it's all this back and forth about how loyal he really was to his team. He's been missing, or he was missing, from June 30th, 2009, and just 5 years, and was just recently released. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this story?
Courtney?
I mean, I get why it's like this super dramatic, like, oh, we are so upset. How dare you release these 5 Taliban terrorists or whatever they were in exchange for this person without going through the proper channels. My understanding, though, is that it's being reported that this deal has been in the works for 2 years.
Yeah, they said about 2 years.
And then there's been word that they had information or intel or whatever that he was getting ill or he was on the verge because he had tried to escape at some point and he was living in a box, and there became an urgency where the proper channels to go through with the whole 30-day notice to Congress and all of that was surpassed. But it was for the reason that the urgency came quicker than they expected. So on the one hand, I feel like they're always trying to catch up. I'm like, oh my God, you broke the rules and therefore you don't believe in the Constitution and you are just flagrant and doing whatever the hell you want. But at the same time, it was to bring a soldier back to his family.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of and it's one of those things
Which is what everyone wanted. That's
and it's not
confusing.
like it was brand new. He just up and decided, okay, guys, I'm about to release these people from Guantanamo right now, and I just decided that 5 seconds ago. It's been talked, and Obama is not the only person that makes this decision. There's plenty of people that are around that are making that decision and making those suggestions with him. So obviously the buck stops with him, so that's why he gets blamed for it, and I get it. But I don't, whether he was a deserter or whatever, I personally think is irrelevant because he was still captured. He's a prisoner of war. And the word, we're supposed to not leave a soldier behind. And if there's something we can do to get him back, we do what we can to get him back. So I'm not mad at that, but he gets such a bum rap about everything. Yeah. And I do understand why.
I mean, granted, if he didn't go through the proper procedures, which they're saying, that's a different issue.
It's to be questioned.
It's to be questioned, absolutely. But on the flip side of this is what Americans want. This is part of all of his speeches that people have been on him about is bringing back our soldiers. And this is what he did. So now it's he's doing what he said he was going to do, and it's still not right.
Yeah, and in a time of war, we bend and flex those rules all the time, and we're still considered to be in a time of war right now. Like, we still have troops over there. We're still technically at war. So no, it's not great that Congress did not know ahead of time, but to me, at least, and they're like demanding that Obama go and give us all the information and all the details about why and who and how did they decide these Taliban leaders were okay and this, that, and other. I was like, y'all, are we serious? Like,
Yeah.
Have we ever gotten that kind of information from our government? Because to live under the illusion that somehow we've always been privy to the details of security and CIA information and military information is a joke.
Yeah.
And that to suddenly hold Obama responsible for all of that, like he has to tell us everything and why every single one of these decisions is bullshit. He's Commander-in-Chief of the military of the United States of America. He can do what the hell he wants with the military at any point in time. So I just think it's crap, as usual.
And then also, oh, go ahead, Nick.
Sorry,
Nick. We forgot you were here. My bad.
No, I mean, you
melted into the
guys
Sorry.
definitely go. I mean, well, first off, I mean, because isn't it like America's policy not to negotiate with terrorists?
Yes.
Like,
Yes, it is. Look at you knowing some political facts over there.
Movies. It's always movies. Secondly, though, but again, he is an American soldier, right?
Yes.
And so, like you said, at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do to bring him home. But I'm thinking, that's what I'm thinking, though. Why don't you just like inject these Taliban with something, with some like, like neural virus or something, and then send them over? You know
Why
what
are you trying to
And,
get
like,
us involved in
do the-
chemical
do the
warfare?
whole-
Right.
Do the whole bait and
Right.
switch. So I'm saying like here's your guys.
Now, when
Are
your
you
car
not
sudden-
trying to get Syria not to do that exact same
Right.
thing? to
When
their
your
people?
car suddenly blows up on the way home, we know why. Nick's opinion does not reflect all the other hosts on this panel.
Opinion of the network.
Look, I mean, listen, I may watch a lot of movies or whatever. I'm just, I'm watching Crisis right now, so there's a whole bunch
Okay,
of
I
stuff
get
going-
it.
You know
I
what I
get
mean?
it.
So
I
I'm
get
like,
it.
I'm just, sticking with something.
Sticking with something.
Yeah.
Angry white guy at the booth, say something.
Yes,
Is that
please.
cool?
Yes.
I think the point that people are missing here is it's not that whether he was a deserter or not. That's not why people are upset. There's a reason that deals like this are kept out of mainstream media and are
Yes.
not publicized. Because now that it's publicized, everyone in the world knows, hey, we'll give you 5 high-ranking terrorists for 1 American soldier. And as well as it's a great concept of, hey guys, we need to get our soldiers home. Like, it just gives people an even worse rep when we don't know how to negotiate when we put 5 people for 1 person. That's for one. And then you also have 5 people who are dangerous. You can have 1 person in the Middle East can incite a rebellion.
Sure.
That's why Bin Laden was so important. That's why Saddam Hussein was so important. So now we have 5 high-ranking members who each have their own legions of people who support them, who will go with whatever they say, who are now super pissed off because they've been in Guantanamo Bay for 5 years or however long they've been in here, who are now free to just take their revenge out on the people who are accepting democracy over there. So now we have 1 soldier who, to free, we have released 5 people who will now in turn probably murder and kill thousands of people because of their treatment in America. So this is kind of the things you were playing with, and when it's publicized worldwide that we're going to give away 5 of the highest ranking people of the Taliban for a soldier, which if people are going to be calling this out, it's like, yes, he is a POW, but whenever we do the exchanges, it's never that high stakes. Unless, I don't see this being pertinent unless it's like he knew some information that they needed to get him back before he told.
Well, see, that's my thing. Like, that's my question about the whole situation. Like, I feel like it's a joke if we believe we're getting the whole story and it's just this, oh my God, these 5 high-ranking Taliban people are being released just for this one guy who means nothing. Yeah. I think that, number one, we don't know everything about the 5 Taliban for real that were released, or why they were really released, or why they were even up for negotiation to be released. And I just think it's not fair for us to assume that the simplicity of what we're being given over the news is what is truth, because there's no way. Like, we have never in the history of this country been privy to what's really going on in the military and in our government with the military.
Yeah, we only have a small percentage of the truth.
And the whole idea that we think that this is the information and for that reason we jump on it like, oh my God, President Obama's doing this, and it's bullshit to me. Like, it is not the truth. It is not the whole truth. We're never going to get the whole truth either. That's not to say you can't question it, but to pretend like that is the story and that's what we run with and we are taking that and accepting it as truth is a problem.
Yeah, and I feel like he's just a scapegoat, continuous.
Wait, but how old were these 5 Taliban guys? Because like, what if they're like on their like 1 foot in the coffin? You know what I mean? Like, just send them back.
They're gonna die when they get back.
They're gonna die. You know, like, they probably can't even make the plane right back
up.
up. Just send them back. Let them die in their country.
Oh.
Because we don't know. You said we don't know the information.
Well, technically,
Views
we wanted to
expressed here are
close.
those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect
There
the
you go.
views of
That
people.
is
There you
right
go.
for Nick.
I'm just saying.
But they're trying to
is what
close
I'm thinking
Guantanamo
about.
anyway. Do you
Right,
really think
exactly
we're going
right.
to put them in our jails? Like, you don't think they're going to, a lot of them are going to be released? Like, that's weird. The story is not fully
It's not.
there,
It's we're only getting a small percentage
We're
of
only
it.
getting that much.
But
They're trying to pull the wool over our eyes.
And
we're falling
my
for
last
it.
statement about it, at the end of the day, I know there's all this rumors about them being worried about releasing them back over to their
Yeah.
country and coming back and destroying us. But at the end of the day, those guys are trained in such a way that there's 15 other men who are waiting to carry out that same mission, whether they come back over there or not, if it's already planned. So
We can't kill
we
them
can't
all,
kill them
y'all.
all. So it is what it is.
We can't, but I'm just saying now it's going to be a bigger goal of theirs to release their prisoners over here by capturing U.S. soldiers, as opposed to.
Well, I don't think that has not been the goal all along.
Right.
Like, there's never been a point where they're not trying to do that. And the idea that just because we know about this one, you think it's never happened before?
Right.
Oh no, it's just more mainstream now.
Yeah.
But mainstream doesn't even really matter to them, because if it's happened before already, they know it's a possibility, which is why they kidnap them and keep them as prisoners and not just kill them to begin with.
That's true.
At the end of the day, these hoes ain't loyal.
All right.
hoes
On
ain't
that note,
loyal.
moving
That's
on
what
to
it
our
comes
last
back to.
story of the day.
There's another one?
There is one more story. Sorry, Courtney. We'll get you out of here real quick.
I'm glad
William
I did.
Nicholson, screenwriter for Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, has been speaking recently about his snub at the Oscars and also his overall feelings about being snubbed and being kind of overshadowed by 12 Years a Slave. During a Hay Festival in Wales, Nicholson expressed his feelings on why his film, starring Idris Elba, was overshadowed by the success of 12 Years a Slave. This is what he told the Daily Telegraph. I'm incredibly proud of the film. Unfortunately, it didn't get the kind of acclaim that I wanted. It didn't get Oscars. 12 Years a Slave came out in America and sucked up all of the guilt about black people that was available. He later said, they, in quotations, the audience, were so exhausted feeling guilty about slavery that I don't think there was much left over to me or over to be nice about our film. So our film didn't do as well as we'd hoped. I really thought it was going to win lots of awards. I thought the director and I had done a great job. Did Mr. Nicholson stick his foot in his mouth that some
He's a white man,
reporter
by the way.
claimed? He is a white man. A European white man.
Can
Yes.
I say this? The nice thing about Mandela, right, is that this will be a Redbox and a Netflix hit for years to come. So even if we didn't see it in the theaters, I'm gonna watch it on Netflix.
You should.
You should. You should
It's a
support
great movie.
the
Right.
movie. It's a unbelievable movie.
So sure, he didn't get the awards up front, but people are still gonna see
watch it?
Yeah.
Do you think that 12 Years a Slave really did overshadow that movie?
I mean, I think it did, just because it came out in September and it was just huge. Like, it grew and it was infectious. But to say that it used up all the white guilt in the country,
Yeah.
like,
It
it's
didn't.
insane. I will say, it wasn't white guilt that it used up. I will say that he probably should have talked to his marketing people, and maybe they should have pushed the release of the movie to like the following year or something, so that it was eligible. In terms of Oscar and that, if he was concerned about awards, they knew what was coming out, because 12 Years a Slave was in the film festival circuit, and
Right.
it was at Toronto, and it started getting a lot of attention
Yeah.
like late summer, early fall. So maybe it would have been in their best interest if they wanted that, like, you know, press type of attention, to release it at a different time, and that's your marketing people and distribution people that should have figured that out.
Yeah.
I don't think it was because it used up all the white guilt.
Yeah,
I
because
just-
if that's,
I just-
you know, The Butler was out. I
Yeah,
mean,
The Butler
and The
came.
Butler got a lot of
Got a
acclaim.
lot of
Fruitvale
acclaim.
Station got a lot
and
of
got attention,
right, a
but
lot
it
of
was
attention.
also sort of spaced out. Like,
It was spaced out.
Fruitvale was earlier in the summer, and then The Butler sort of and The Butler got moved, I'm pretty sure, because it was supposed to come out earlier, if I remember correctly, but it didn't end up coming out until early August. And then 12 Years a Slave wasn't available in theaters. Like, we had been hearing about it because it had been at the film circuit, but it didn't actually come out into theaters until fall.
Yeah.
So somebody was paying attention. And in all honesty, I don't think it was white guilt. I think it's a black movie thing, like, that are about serious issues. Like, that's a lot to have to draw those audiences, and that kind of movie is not like a Transformers. Like you're gonna like.
Yeah.
It takes some effort to watch.
Most people were crying when I left that movie.
Yeah, it's an emotional journey. So you only want so much of that. So it should have just been spaced out. But that's a pretty funny comment. That's
Well, he also had a couple
interesting
other interesting comments to say. He said that he thought Mandela's death had a negative effect on the film's success, and he also called Mandela's speeches boring. He said in the movie, he actually redid several of the speeches that Idris did as he portrayed Mandela, because he said in real life those speeches were snoring.
Wow.
He was intense.
And this is a white man.
Yes.
In his defense,
is he related to Justin Bieber?
Maybe down the line.
Maybe he was tired, because they said he worked on that movie for like the script like for 15 years, and it went through like 35 rewrites. So the fact that it finally got made, like he was so excited and hopeful, like that was probably pretty crushing.
It probably was crushing.
That's a lot of work.
Idris did an amazing job.
It was a beautiful movie.
Naomi did an amazing job. I did think that they were kind of like overshadowed a bit, but not by 12 Years a Slave. I just felt like it was just so much going on at that time that it just was not right timing for that movie to come out.
Their marketing wasn't good at all.
The marketing was not good.
We were not seeing like Mandela. The only reason I really knew it was out was because I got screeners for it early.
Yeah.
So it's talk to your distribution company, boo.
Question: how did this movie do in relation to like Red Tails? And the only reason why I'm asking is because George Lucas, it took him years to really put out, and when he finally put it out there, it didn't really do so well. So that's why because it's kind of like the same type of story. So I was wanting to see kind of what
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'd have to look that up, but
because that was another black film.
I'm not even sure,
done by a white man.
Because I always pay attention to the theater by my house. Like it gets some of the great movies. Like it ended up getting 12 Years a Slave. It got Belle. So like some of the limited release movies, like we get it. Mandela, I don't actually recall it getting there. And if it was there, it was only there for maybe like a week or two.
Who was the studio?
Usually, I'm not sure. It didn't run very long and very extensively, so I don't know. And I don't know if it was a purposeful limited release, like they did, because initially 12 Years a Slave was a limited release in only like, I don't know, 50 theaters or something, and then it expanded.
Mandela's domestic total gross, according to Box Office Mojo, was about $8.3 million, and Red Tails was about $49.9 million.
Wow, that's a huge difference.
Terrible.
That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
Because it's a great movie.
How much did it cost to make? Is the budget on there?
I'd need another minute.
Okay.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about it,
I'm curious now.
Look for it.
Yeah, look for it. Listen, bring it back to life on DVD.
Box office.
Re-release it. Or re-release it. Bring it back now. Right now, we don't have a black film.
Except for Belle is out, but that's not like a depressing. Like it won't suck up the white guilt.
It'll be fighting Think Like a Man 2.
You can put it out after.
You can put it out after Think Like a Man 2.
Black people will be excited to see more black people.
Exactly.
This is what you got to do. Once 12 Years a Slave goes to Redbox, you get Mandela free. When you get 12, so you can watch them both.
You said you get Mandela free.
Yeah, you said.
I'm just so you'll watch it.
All right.
So you'll watch it.
On that note. Nick, where can your fans find you, or the Taliban, or the U.S.
Nick, are you the Taliban?
or the U.S. Or the U.S. people who are going to blow up your car? Where can they find you?
It says $35 million budget, and as of today, it's $27 million. It's made.
That's definitely
it hasn't even made back.
Oh wow, that's sad.
That's definitely a flop. All right, you guys. Well, you guys can find me all over the internet at the Nick Perdue.
All over the internet, guys.
Where can we find you, Courtney?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stewart Starlet.
You can find me at Derrial Christon on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, remember to go vote for the Buzz Meter question today, which is, should Obama have traded 5 Taliban terrorists for POW? We talked about it. We gave a little insight. We want to know what you guys have to say, and we want to know if Nick's going to be with us next week. No, just kidding.
Stay away from Nick.
Stay away from Nick
You don't want to
Perdue.
get struck by lightning or
Follow me, guys.
Follow him. Yeah, see how this week goes. Thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live this week. Have a great weekend, and we will see you soon.
From producers Maria Menounos, Derrial Christon, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.
Thanks for watching Black Hollywood Live on YouTube. For more in-depth interviews and news, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion in the comment section below here. See you soon, everyone. Bye.